Hi, my name is Usmani, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate the additions I made to the 61B Project 0. The first addition I made was adding procedurally generated planet images. And so in this first simulation file, you can see that for many of these bodies, I've used the keyword generate instead of an image file name. And if we run this simulation, we can see that we have 4 bodies that have images that are concentric rings of circles, of randomly colored circles. And as you'll see right now, if I run this again, I'm going to have different images with different colored circles. And if I run it one more time, you'll see that I have a completely new random set of images. And so to briefly explain how this works, basically whenever a body object with the word generate in place of a file name is initialized, a 2D array of random integers from 0 to 255 representing RGB colors is initialized as an instance variable. And whenever the draw method is called, instead of loading an image file, instead these colors are used to draw the concentric circles using standard draw. And so the second addition I made was a user-controlled spaceship. So if we go over to this file, we'll see that in this simulation, we have a single body that uses the image spaceship.gif, as you can see. And this lets the program know that this body is going to be our user-controlled ship. And if we run it, we can see that initially nothing's going to happen because, as you can see, we have set the initial velocities to be 0. But if we move the mouse into the window and then hold down the left mouse button, we can see that the spaceship starts to move around. And you can see that basically, as I move this cursor around, the ship kind of follows the mouse. Just move it around a little more just to demonstrate. And so what's going on here is that the program is calculating the distance between the mouse cursor and the ship in both the X and Y directions. And what happens is these distances are scaled down and then added to the X and Y velocities of the ship. And so as you'd expect, if I move the mouse close to the ship, the increase in velocity is small. But if I move it further, it's a much larger increase in velocity. So here you see kind of large and small changes in velocities. And basically, there's also a maximum limit on how much the velocity can increase, and this essentially serves as the max speed of the ship and prevents the user from accidentally losing control of it, which can happen easily when that limit's not in place. And so when I'm only moving the ship by moving this mouse around, you can see that it's a little bit difficult to get the ship to stop. Even now, can't really get the ship to stop completely, it's still drifting a little. So what I've done is I've added a braking feature. So as I move the ship around, once I let go of this mouse button, I can start holding the space bar down, and as you can see, the ship will slow down, and now it's come to a full stop. The implementation of this feature is pretty simple. The program just continuously subtracts from the velocity, or in the case the velocity is negative, it'll add to it until it reaches 0 whenever spacebar is held. And so moving on to another simulation, you can see that here we have 2 bodies, one of them being our user-generated spaceship, and the other being a body with a procedurally generated image. And let's go ahead and run this simulation. And as you can see, other bodies will interact with the spaceship as they normally should. Like right here, you just saw that this other body's trajectory was altered by the gravitational pull of our spaceship. And this is just a result of the spaceship being a body object. And in our final simulation, we're going to see that the spaceship itself also interacts with other bodies as it normally should. And so when we run this, we can see that our spaceship is affected by the gravitational pull of the sun and it's orbiting around that. And we can see that even as I start to control the ship myself, it's still being pulled by the sun's gravitational force, so it's still affected by the other forces in our system. And so those are the additions I made to CS61B Project 0. Thank you for watching.